Okay, before we get to our regular scheduled programming today, where I'm ripping the 2025 NFL Mosaic Football blaster boxes, this will be part three of three. A couple friends had asked me to bring up or approach the topic of what's going on at Tops. And I usually, up to this point, haven't really got involved. I say a couple words here and there, but leave it alone. Just to give you a brief overview, Topps went ahead and had an entry result to try to get a hold of Topps Chrome Basketball Sapphire hobby boxes. And it was just basically a show. This product was not for us. You can throw your hat in there and try to see if you can get some, but every single box went to a breaker, influencer. Only one single box went to a retail customer who actually won and got that box. That is just basically a lawyer talk of basically, okay, we advertised and we promoted this product and we try to get people to buy it, actual customers to buy it. But in order to be legit and so we don't get sued, we're going to give one single person a box, but the rest of those boxes are going to go to breakers. And that's basically what happened. I forgot the gentleman who posted this. It just came off my feed. And then I had friends who asked me about it. To give you a little bit of brief background on my situation, I'm a retail guy, but I'm split equally between buying 50% of my product through retail, Target, Walmart, that sort of thing, and online, versus buying the other 50% where I do buy online, but it's mostly hobby boxes, right? So higher end. And so the amount of money I spend probably puts me in the top 1%, but in the low 1% of buyers, but I'm spending considerably a lot more than all my friends. When I started getting in this industry, since I was a kid, but when I built back up, I was, trading and collecting cards with about a dozen other friends, that I've known for a long time. And those friends can't really afford to spend at the levels I'm at. They're married, they have kids, and it's just not feasible. But at least in the old days, you can buy 19.99 blaster boxes. You can actually even buy them at 14.99 and 12.99, where you can buy blaster boxes and you can actually collect still. But what Topps did recently, when they advertised and released the Topps Chrome Basketball Sapphire, and you try to win yourself some boxes in terms of the opportunity to pay for or buy those boxes, what basically happened was they only sold it to one actual customer, retail customer. All the rest of the boxes went to breakers, and until we as customers and retailers have start basically bringing it up and making this a real liability issue and be extremely vocal. Tops, Fanatics, Panini, they're not going to change their ways at all. And so what happens is, let's go into the history of the industry. At the beginning, when I first started, I was in that bad wax pack era where they overproduced and they had a lot of different players in the industry. It was just oversaturated with a lot of players in the industry. And then we're at this point now where we're in a situation where there's only one single player. So it's basically a monopoly. And this is where, we need to write to our congressperson and our senators, but mostly, you start off with attorney generals and then you start off with your congressperson and just say, hey, there's a lot of gambling going on in the car business. Also, there's a monopoly and there's collusion, and we don't stand a fair chance here as retail purchasers. And so, for every person who's vocally complained about this industry, and this industry has gotten really big, right? So, at the beginning, when the industry is smaller and it's not as prevalent, maybe you don't need as much regulation. But every single thing here in America, every time something gets bigger, and it brings out the worst of the worst in people within the industry, breakers, people, doing some shady things. What it has shown is we can't regulate ourselves. We need regulation. So this is where breakers and cost and tricking people and repackaging and all sorts of other stuff that, all the shady stuff that goes on, is a problem. And you know what? Tops is just as much as a problem. They knew going in that they weren't going to sell this to the retail public side, that they were going to go ahead and allow 99.9% of this product to breakers. And they went through the whole pony and show, basically saying, hey, come out here and try to win yourself an opportunity to buy some Topps Chrome's basketball sapphire hobby boxes. But they only actually gave it to one person, and that basically shows that they had no intention of selling it to the general public. They basically said, we're going to give it to all the breakers, and we are, we really don't care about you, the retail customer. And so the only way you can do this by not buying retail and also saying to the to the government and everybody else is, hey, I've complained about this myself many times. Now I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to write my congressperson and let them know, hey, there's collusion going on in the card business, and it's a $1 billion industry. There's breakers who are taking advantage of people. It's a form of gambling that's not regulated, and we need some help, because us little people, and I'm still with you guys in terms of being smaller in the big scope of things, but I'm very fortunate that I can kind of buy what I want. But I've been kind of disenfranchised a little bit too. I love collecting, and so that kind of takes precedence. But I'm frustrated with how badly it is to get numbered cards, and to, my chances of sniffing a 1-of-1 or a gold or anything nice is pretty minimal. Although my chances weren't great, they were almost impossible, because all those cards are loaded into breaker boxes. So I never even stood a chance, although I'm buying at least 30 boxes of hobby boxes per year. And so with me buying as many hobby boxes and still not sniffing the best of the best or very low of the lows, because they're all stuffed into breaker boxes. And so the only thing I can do, or I can do as my part, is not to buy any more or buy any more retail, which, I'll be honest, I'm probably going to cut down and not spend nearly as much. I'm probably only going to spend 5% of what I used to spend, which is still a lot. I'm too embarrassed to tell you how much I spend per year. And then from there, I've already drafted some pre-letters, and I'm going to have a couple of my lawyer friends read over the letters before I send them out, because I want them to look pretty polished before I send them out to my Congress people, just to kind of let them know that that there's a problem in this industry, and something needs to be done. And so that's where we're at. I'm going to let you guys go because I've been ranting too long. And then what we'll do is we'll get to part 3 of the 3 in terms of this Mosaic 2025 Blaster Box rip. I got more coming today, so that's why I got to get this video done. Plus, I also got the 2024 Phoenix Blaster Box case coming. So I got to get rolling. So thank you very much for joining me. I don't like to do a lot of videos like this, but people have my friends have reached out to me, and then I'm involved in a lot of groups, and I'm also paying some subscriptions to some of these guys who have kind of brought this up to the forefront. I went ahead and am paying a monthly subscription, $4.99. It's not a lot, but I'm paying it. And I signed up for now the total of 3 people who do this, because I want to support their channel. But I'm hoping that they do a lot of the work that I kind of don't do. I will write the letters, and I'm actually going to email some of them and ask them, hey, how about drafting up a letter for the rest of you guys who don't write letters, so we can send it to our Congress people. Okay, thanks a lot, guys. I'll be back shortly with the ripping of the 3 of 3.